Hello world, welcome back to another episode of Cooking with the Master Chefs with me, Michael Lang. This is the show where I take a recipe from last week's episode of Master Chef
Tonight. Bring it on, cowboys!
and try to recreate it here in my kitchen. This week we're making a fruit tart.
A beautiful, magnificent fruit tart.
Which would be very, very interesting since I don't actually have a tart pan. So I'm using this thing, which is a springboard pan that I used to make cheesecakes out of. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. Let's get cooking. So, to make this fruit tart, we're going to need 4 different components. The crust, the custard, the topping, and the glaze. Alright, this is everything you're going to need to make your crust. So basically, we're just going to need some flour, some sugar, some butter, and some egg yolks. If you watch any life hack videos, you probably know the water bottle trick to removing your egg yolks from your egg whites, but here's some old school ways of actually doing it. The first one is just basically use your egg as your little containers and just slide your eggs back and forth until all the whites just separate from the yolk. The second way, which is a lot quicker but a little bit messier, is just use your hand. Just crack the egg, place it in your hand, let the whites just drain out, and then you have a nice clean egg yolk. So, all we're going to do is chop up a butter into little pieces and then toss that into the flour. Mix it together until it's nice grainy texture. Once that's done, add in your sugar and add in your egg yolks. You should have a nice doughy texture. If it's not doughy enough, go ahead and add a little bit of water as well. So once your dough is done, go ahead and just toss that in the fridge, let it set and harden for about at least 15 minutes. Also at the same time, go ahead and preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Now that the dough is in the refrigerator, we're going to go ahead and make the custards. So here's everything we're going to need to make the custard. Milk, flour, sugar, vanilla extract, and 2 more egg yolks. First mix in the flour, sugar, and the egg yolks. Mix that all together until it's nice and blended together. Then we're going to also heat the milk till it's just about boiling. Once it's about boiling, we're going to slowly add that to the mixture. Make sure you don't add it all at once or you're going to end up cooking the eggs and everything's just going to come out crazy looking. Everything is nice and mixed together like so. Go ahead and toss it back onto the stove and cook it till it thickens up. Basically, it should just coat the back of the spoon. So custard's nice and done. I tossed some saran wrap on it, and basically you press down the saran wrap so it's just touching the custard. This way, as it cools, it doesn't create this foamy skin on top. While that's happening, we're gonna pull out the crust, roll it out, put it into the oven, and hope it bakes properly. Fingers crossed. Alrighty, now let's get this dough in the oven. Nice and cool. We're gonna throw it down. First, we're just going to toss some flour on so it doesn't stick. Roll it out pretty much to 1/8 of an inch thick. And then we're going to toss it into the pan and see how it comes out. Oh, I did the best that I could with the devices given. So, there you go. Everything is in there. This is definitely not perfect. So, before we toss it in the oven, 2 things. First thing is first, go ahead and grab yourself a fork and puncture some holes here so that way it does, there's a place for the air to come out and it doesn't end up rising on you. So just go ahead and give it a couple of pokes, like so. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then, finally, before you toss it into the oven, I'm going to put some foil on it and then add a little bit of weight. You can toss some beans over it or anything. I'm just going to toss this little glass bowl on top of there. The weight's going to keep it from rising and keep all the bubbles from forming. And so that way you still have a nice, even crust. Then toss it in the oven, bake it for 15 to 20 minutes or until it looks nice and golden brown. Take it out, and hopefully this doesn't fall apart on me. While everything is cooling and getting set, we're going to go ahead and chop up all of our fruit. You can pretty much use any fruit you'd like. I'm using strawberries and mangoes. Basically just cut everything into thinly sliced pieces, and that's pretty much it. There's only one more part to this equation, which is the glaze. So with the glaze, I'm going to be making a orange citrus glaze. So basically I need an orange, powdered sugar. We're just going to put these together and just mix it all up. Pretty much it. So there's the crust all nice and done. It did actually crack a little bit, but I did some patchwork. Basically, I crumbled up some cookies and just kind of patched up all the holes. So it'll keep the custard all inside, but definitely still edible. Anyway, that's done. Everything is done. It's time to put it all together. And boom, there you go. One fruit tart with mangoes and strawberries. Didn't come out perfectly, obviously, not having the right cooking utensils. But there you have it. Thank you, MasterChef, for constantly inspiring me to make new and crazy things. If you don't watch MasterChef, catch it. It's every Wednesday. You could also catch it on Hulu. Hopefully you guys enjoy the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. I'll be back next week with more Cooking with MasterChef. You guys have a good night. Later. You got Trump running for president and trying to piss off every single human being that he can on this planet, it seems.
He's a war hero because he was captured.
At this point, your jambalaya should be done. You'll know this because all the liquids have basically been absorbed and your rice is fully cooked and nice and tender.